Hello and welcome to the next video. In this video I'm going to be talking about an experience I had while living in Osaka, Japan. And I'll title this the Expat Blues. So this would have happened, I believe, around my last year in Japan. So this would have been about 2018. And I forget the specific month, but when this occurred I had organized a meetup. I think I had mentioned before how I went to a lot of meetups in Japan, whether language exchange or social or otherwise. Well, I also organized a few meetups because I wanted to do things in the suburban Osaka area and just in Osaka or Kyoto as well. And in this particular meetup, I decided to organize using the app, I decided to organize a meetup at the Insectarium in Osaka. And I'll go ahead and put a link to my photo album of that. I believe I put it up on Flickr, so go to the description and you'll see it. Anyhow, organized the meetup a few weeks ahead of time because of things that I talked about before about scheduling everything ahead. I had maybe about 4 or 5 people who said they were interested in going, expats and locals. And I thought, great. Told them the time, gave them the directions, showed them the map, took screenshots, I think I even put the website of the Insectarium, and lo and behold, the day came. So went out there and would check the app every so often just to see if there were any messages from anyone, if anyone got lost and whatnot. Well, as I went through it, didn't see any messages and thought, okay, well, I guess people are just going to be there. That's great. And they've already messaged me a few times beforehand, so end up getting out there, no one's there. Thought, okay. Wait a few minutes, check the messages again, no one's there. So notice the time, it's already time, a few minutes go by, past the time, and I message in the group, hey, going inside, whatnot. Go in. About 5-10 minutes later, I noticed that there was a message, I think, in the group. And I think about the same time I noticed it, some expat gentleman approaches me and says, hey, are you David? I said, yes. Oh, hi, my name is, I thought you were going to wait outside. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't know if you saw the message or not. Introduced ourselves, talked a bit, took pictures, had a good time. And afterwards we went to eat at I think it was like an Italian or European style restaurant. Short walk from the Insectarium. Had a good rapport with the gentleman. Real nice guy, very fluent in Japanese, had been there many years, was married to a local. He was, a lifer. And we kept in contact. Well, I think it was 1 or 2 months later, is when I had decided that I was going to be leaving Japan. And mentioned it to this gentleman in some of our back and forth messages. And I remember, and I won't say his name, wish him well, seems like a really cool guy. But I remember he was shocked by the whole thing. He's like, oh my God, another person's leaving. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, man, every time, I just met someone who's, pretty down to earth, someone I can do, photography and go out and chat with. And now you're leaving. And it reminded me of some of the struggles I had as well, trying to find people where, in another video I talked about, I met someone who I met at a language exchange, and he and I went to a bar afterwards and, had a cool time. And he mentioned he was looking for a wingman and someone to hang out with because his friend who used to go, bar hopping with and just out in general. The guy was busy and he was kind of riding solo, so he needed a wingman. Well, it seems like in this case, something similar happened where now I'm the one leaving, and this, expat lifer, meet someone that he finds cool enough to hang out with, thanks, but was going to be leaving. And it's something that happens. It's not just a Japan thing, I'll admit that. This is something a lot of expats go through. no matter what country you're in, where you're going to meet some really interesting people, some people that you're going to gravitate towards, have shared experiences with, and just be friends with them in general. However, over time, these people are going to come out of your life. And you're going to, it may not be all of them at once. You may meet 10 people and then, this month one leaves, a year later another leaves. However, over time, those faces are no longer going to be there. People are going to move on. People are going to, their lives are going to change in a variety of ways. And, the only consistent thing is that you're going to be seeing people coming in and out of your life. And that's why I call this the Expat Blues story. Anyway, see you guys in the next video.